Of course, I'm going to start talking and then my voice is going to sound wretched. Good morning. Happy Sunday brunch. How is everybody doing? Oh, I'm going to reach across here and press something. Okay, there we go. There's a pop-up. Oh, happy Sunday, everyone. I can smell, I have things going in the kitchen and I can smell rice cooking and chicken baking. To be a good lunch today. Oh, got some fun things to show you to kick things off. And then we're going to jump in. I'm going to go ahead and get started on part two of my pattern testing. Hi, Carrie. Hey, Tamala. Nadine. Bonjour. Good morning. How are you all doing? Folks in the east, well, I guess it came from the south and up. I hope everybody is doing okay with the snow that we've had over the past week. um it's been, yesterday was super windy, which actually caused some issues for us here yesterday evening, but we had heat last night, so that's all that matters. And we're good to go, so that's good. But it was not as much snow as they had originally called for, which is always nice. Like, it was a nice overnight snow, and then by the time we were up and running, I didn't even have to like clean off the car. It was that good. So nice. Hey, hey, Shelly. Good morning. Okay, so I am going to show off a couple of things. First I'm gonna start with the first block from the Neon Nights sew along that we're doing. It's a new pattern that's on my website. Tons of fun. $10 for the pattern. Don't feel obligated to go buy it. It's just, it's exciting. I like having these things happen. And the first block that we were working on is called Sparkling Star. And it's actually a block that we did during the 2-color quilt challenge last year. That drove me insane doing it traditionally pieced. It made me so angry. I've never used so many pins in my life, and I broke my if it doesn't work, if I rip it out 3 times and it doesn't work, then it's not meant to work. I broke that so many times trying to get that stinking thing perfect, and yeah, it drove me nuts. So I knew that I wanted to try to remake it in FPP so I could have a little bit more control about what was happening. So the Sparkling Star was the first one that we're working on. There's 2 stars in the Neon Nights pattern: Sparkling Star and Dutch Rose. I think I was calling it Dusty Rose, but I think that's because I like the color Dusty Rose. But it's called Dutch Rose. The first one we were doing is Sparkling Star, the one that drives me crazy. And so this was the first one I'm doing for the sew along, for the purposes of being able to show everybody everything. I'm just doing a little wall hanging, which is 2 of the Sparkling Stars. So it'll be 2 green and then 2 Dutch Roses, so that I can have it finished to show everybody. But I'm going to continue on and make the whole darn thing, just not as part of the January series of sewing them together. So this coming up Wednesday, I'm going to show how to actually piece this together, how to put all of it, because it's FPP. It's got all of the pattern papers still in it. So I'm going to show everybody. Don't mind all of the cat glitter. It's a constant here. But I am so happy with how it's so flat, not all bubbly like the traditionally pieced one was. Jeannie, hi, how are you doing? I'm so happy with it. I love it. I'm so excited to show how to build all of the pieces together this week, and then we'll start the Dutch Rose next week. And then there's some sashing and cornerstones in this same green, the way I'm doing it, in the same green, this lime green from Cherrywood. and then we'll be all set. So if you're doing the larger one, you can keep going. I'm going to keep going. If you're just doing the wall hanging, it's just the 4 blocks, 2 of each of the kinds of stars, and then you're done. Or you can make it as big as you want, like a medium-sized throw. You would do 6 of one block and 5 of the other. It's kind of like choose your own adventure kind of thing. But yeah, super excited to have this done and bent to my will, which was the purpose. It's how Neon Nights came to be, was wanting to make this block work for me. So that was that. Last week I worked on A through D with my pattern for the Calla Lilies. Oh, thank you, Shelly. I'm so happy that it worked out so well. So this was A through D with the Calla Lilies pattern. I actually have this in the hands of a few folks who are testing, which is really cool. I'm thrilled to have testers helping me out. If you are ever interested in being a tester, so fair warning, there's a very large conversation going on, and has been for the past few months, about, hey, Charlotte, welcome from Texas. Hello. A large conversation about making sure that testers are compensated for their work. And I'm a big believer in that. You guys are putting in time and effort towards something that's mine, and I'll be selling the pattern, and you should be a part of that. So I'm trying to keep my numbers really low because I do want to compensate everybody, but I'm not a rich gal, and I certainly don't sell like thousands of patterns at any time. I don't know that I've even sold 100 patterns yet. So I'm trying to keep my testing pool really low so that I can at least provide something to my testers, besides, shouting them out and then giving them the completed pattern for free, which really that should be like, that should go without saying. Of course, they should get the pattern that they've worked to help like iron out the kinks. But if you are interested ever in, becoming a tester and getting a little something, if you email me at my email address, it's in the description below. But it's just SleighArts@gmail.com. So it's super easy. And I'd love to have you join in the fun of being a tester. It's a fun way to get a preview of what's going on. It's a fun way to start, like, I think when you start testing, because I did a couple of tests, you start really looking at it differently. And it helps you understand the whole process, which is really cool. I have a lot more patience for pattern writers now, after having tested and then writing my own. So I don't know, it's just a different perspective, and it's kind of fun because you're a part of a group doing it. Hey, Ingrid, good morning. Charlotte saying hey to Nadine. Oh, and Marianne joined. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy brunch. I hope everybody had a really good week. Again, we were talking about the snow didn't do the second round of snow didn't do as much damage. Monday's snow was a pretty good shot. Don't think we hit 6 inches of snow, but it was enough it was cold enough and stayed here long enough to cause chaos during the entire week. But the Saturdays ended up not being so bad until the evening when it got cold and windy. But again, like I said, hey, we had heat by the time we went to bed, so that's all good. That's all that matters. Marianne's hanging out in Southeast Pennsylvania. Oh, I don't know about everybody. It is wild card weekend here, closer to the Super Bowl. And so my my mom's side of the family is from Pittsburgh, and yesterday was not a good day for Maryland versus Pittsburgh. We kind of romped on the Steelers, the Ravens did. So, ooh, and then today the Commanders play, and I grew up a Commanders fan. Was here uh and alive post the Colts leaving Baltimore. So I don't know nothing about all that. I mean, I know that they did, but I didn't live through it. So I grew up a Commanders fan because that's the team that was here, and I never switched loyalties. So there you go. Oh, the volume's cutting in and out. Huh. Let me check what's going on with the mic. Let me do that before I start sewing things up. Okay, that's all the way up. And that's all the way up. Oh, Charlotte, your volume's fine there. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna check all of the like dials and knobs and whatnot just to make sure. Okay. The connection says good, which is nice. Okay. All right. Keep me posted, Marianne. I've double checked all of the bits and pieces on my end that I can. So keep me posted. Ingrid says it sounds good there. Oh, Marianne lost it all together. Okay, that might be a connectivity thing for Marianne. Okay, cool. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get. I finished again. I did sections A through D. This was last week, and I finished it during the week. So we've got a good start. I really love how the purples look. Um, I am green's my favorite color, but obviously, the flowers of aren't actually green. They're never green. They're always other colors. So if I'm going to have a color, a purple is a good color to use. And this plummy purple is a lot of fun. And I really like how the using ombre is playing across the colors, even within the section. So some of these bigger pieces will start off darker and even move into light. So I'm really happy with using the ombre. I started with the next group of units to build section 2, and so this is E through L, I think. Nope, and E through O. So I started E. He's already done with a little bit of some purples and the blue background. And then I talked about it a little bit last week. This guy, the Calla Lilies, is a fantastic scrap buster if you're doing the 20-inch. So I'm going to turn this 20-inch block into a throw pillow of the Calla Lilies. I'm really excited about that. You'll be able to. Okay, Marianne's back. Excellent. Okay, great. Oh, good morning, Gladys. Oh, smart. Yes, Gladys just put in the exclamation mark selfie. So if you are here and you haven't met Gladys before, you haven't seen her channel, or if you're here and you have a channel and you'd like to shout it out, that exclamation mark selfie is the way to do it, because I am horrible at remembering to put people into Nightbot by name, and the selfie thing figures it all out for me. So go check out Gladys, give her a like and a follow. And while you're doing that, give this video a thumbs up. Okay, that's about as sales pitchy as I get because I don't like it. So that's gonna be it for that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I was talking about this. The 20-inch is a really good scrap buster. I'm in using the new software that I'm using. There are some things that I have to figure out, like how to get the 1-inch square to be a part of the thing. All these little like administrative things that I've got to figure out. What I love about this is that I can scale up 20 inches, 40 inches, 60 inches, as one whole block. And it's super, super easy. The 20-inch ones are definitely great for scrap busters. And I think that when I'm doing most of the testing, or when I'm giving it to testers, that 20-inch is going to be like the sweet spot for that, because like maybe at most one of the pieces would be a fat quarter. The background for the Calla Lilies is a fat quarter of blue, if you want to do it just one color. But everything else is a great, like, just pull in whatever, all the scraps, all the different colors you have, pull them all in and go from there. So I really like that. That's a lot of fun. And this is fantastic for scraps that you might have. You could do all of the flowers in a different color. So all 4 of the flowers you could do in different colors and really dig into some scraps. It's kind of up to you how you want to tackle this once it's live. This pattern will be live at the beginning of February, because testing is done at the end of January. So let's dive in. Like this piece right here is the largest one for this section. So unit O, and this is all just one piece of the background. So that's going to be one big old piece of blue. And as we're sewing it up, I would cut out, well, you know what? I don't have to go in order. I can just do this with you guys right now. Let's move these out of the way so I don't accidentally cut them, because that would be sad. Hey, Kay. Hi, Donna. Hi, Molly. Good morning. Oh, Fort Worth. My uncle lived in Fort Worth for a good part of his adulthood. Good morning, everyone. Kay says purple is always the best choice. Kay, go ahead and throw in a exclamation mark selfie so folks can check out your channel too. Kay's Purple Wall. We were, Kay and Carrie, we were really doing a lot of cotton cuts way back when. So it's nice that, like, the community you build in the different things that you're working on. It's a lot of fun, and I've had fun watching Kay on her channel as well. Hi, Landa. Welcome. Good morning. Landa was a big help. I found out that the pattern for the one we're doing in January, Neon Nights, it had gotten corrupted when it uploaded from my laptop to the website. And Landa helped me out, figured out what had happened. And so if you had ordered Neon Nights before last night, you should have gotten an email that said, hey, there's an update. Sorry, it was corrupted. Technology is not always our friend. But it's corrected and good to go on the website now. So, all right. So what I'm going to do, and what I will do with these larger pieces where it's like one piece of fabric, I'm going to line it up. Again, I'm not a big, I don't iron before I start using fabrics for FPP, because you end up ironing them so much. And because you're sculpting the fabric as you go, if the piece isn't exactly 2-inch by 2-inch, because you cut it, it's a, there's got a little pucker in it, or an iron like needs to be ironed a bit. And so once you iron it, it's actually like 2 1/4 and 2 1/4. It's not going to matter, because you're sculpting that piece down. So I just don't worry about ironing in FPP. You want to be super precise in traditional piecing, and I'm 100% on board with that. I'm still not that great of ironer, because I am a lazy butt, but it works out well for me in FPP. So for this, because it is a corner piece, we've got this really great straight line and a right angle. I'm just putting it right up against the edge of this fat quarter of blue. I'm going to leave the selvage out here, because I know I'm going to end up trimming that off. It's not a big deal. This is where you can either use your glue stick, whether you have the Sue Daily glue stick, or if you just have the Elmer's washable glue, or whatever what you normally would use. If you're using glue, you could put some dabs of glue on here. You could go ahead and pin here to hold the fabric together with the paper so it's ready to go. Especially if you're a first time person, I would definitely say that the glue held at along like the here at the end, maybe a bit down here, holding it across this angle, down at the end, and a little bit up here. That's going to help hold it in place for you really well when you are building the units together to complete the section. So I would say if you're a first timer or pretty new to doing this, popping those little glue, just a couple of little glue dots around the side is going to be really nice to help you hold the fabric. This is a larger piece of fabric than you're using for the other units, and it'll help keep this blue from flopping all over the place and maybe not laying the way it should once you put the piece together. I'm just going to go ahead and pop some pins in it. I can see that it's already moved a little bit for me just from doing that. Here we go. Maybe I'll pin down here first. And then in here. So yeah, these larger pieces of fabric can move around, and you want to have it secured as possible before you put the pieces together. Oh, yay. Okay, Kay's got her website or YouTube channel in there. Everybody go give a like. Oh, Kay is close to 1,500. So cool. Good job. That's exciting. Definitely give Kay a follow if you don't already. I know many of us in here have been either cotton cutters, or doing other projects together where we've gotten to hang out with Kay. So you may already follow her, but if you don't, definitely do that. Good morning, Rita. Crystal Dragon House of Creations. That's a fun name. Good morning. So there we go. So we've got this. This is the bigger piece of blue. Sorry, I know sometimes moving too fast makes this camera like mad at me. And it's pinned on, and then I'm just going to put this to the side so I'm ready to build the whole unit. Add the units to build the whole section at the end. But that's how I would do that. I've got the selvage hanging out over here because it's going to get trimmed. It's not going to matter. And we are set. I think that is the largest standalone piece for the whole 20-inch block of Calla Lilies. I think that's the largest one. So the blue, because I'm doing a solid blue, is really just a fat quarter's worth of blue. And then because I'm using the ombre, I think I'm going to end up using about, I have a yard of it cut. No, a half yard. I think I'll probably end up using the full half yard to finish up all the scraps. But that's because I'm deciding to use the ombre to get all the different colors. So I think that's how it'll end up working out. All right, let's get to work. Hi, Valerie from Brooklyn. Did you all get any snow from this Saturday's showers yesterday? Acorn glue. Yep. Yeah. Pins are, but again, if you haven't like gotten to where you have all the glues, or if you have glue and you don't have pins, use what you have. Oh, yeah, okay. It gets expensive doing those cotton cuts. Oh, it was fun doing that, being like the first group to do the cotton cuts in that way, like have us all get together, kind of have a little cotton cuts guild there for a while until they changed all the rules. But all right, I'm gonna grab, I did E, so I'm gonna go F. I'm gonna go ahead and fold these so I'm ready. So I'm just pre-scoring the paper so that it is easier to line up, uh, to cut the fabric that I'm going to be using to about 1/4 of an inch, and then use that to line up the next piece of fabric. And we got this going this way. I don't know what it is, but every time I go live, I start to get a stuffy nose. I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm snorting all morning. I'm really unsure why that happens to be. The rest of the day, I don't feel like I'm stuffy. As soon as I sit down here, I feel stuffy. All right. So we're gonna need some blues out here, but for me, I always start cutting the fabric from piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way through 9. If you're pre-cutting it, I always do that so that when I flip the fabric over, I pin it to the unit, and then I move on to the next one, and I just pre-cut all of it. And I always know that when I come back to this piece, it'll be 1 through whatever the number is. And all of them are always that way. So it doesn't matter how long I've been away from a project, they're always all set up that way. For me, I've been doing this my old, like, laid back, kind of chill way. I don't know if you can hear my dog complaining about the fact that I'm not paying attention to her. Uh, so I'm just gonna, this is the kind of just whack at the fabric and go kind of style for today. So I'm not going to worry about pre-cutting all of the fabrics for this unit. I'm just going to start building. So F1 is right here, and it's a kind of a medium-ish color. So, and it's like, oh, about a 2x2. So this is where I'm not as precise or as exact on what the shape is. I'm just cutting out a hunk of fabric that I know will cover what I'm trying to cover, and starting there. And I can see that this hunk of fabric covers the F1 piece just fine. And then I can move on to F2, which is one of the really light colors. So I'm going to do this. And what you'll want to remember, if you're not using batiks or solids, which those two fabrics are always my biggest recommendation for beginners, because you're not worrying about right side, wrong sides. So if you're using either of those, it's not going to matter how you lay piece 1. For patterned pieces of fabric that matter, that have a right side or a wrong side. Piece one is always going to be, so if you consider the sew lines, the side that has stuff on it, the right side of the paper, you're going to put your paper and your first piece of fabric wrong sides together. So the fabric is going to be face up on the wrong side of the paper. Again, wrong side of the paper meaning no printing, no lines, no print on the paper. So both wrong sides go together for your first piece. And you have to remember that just for your first piece, because now as I'm adding my second piece from here, it's really just traditional piecing, because I'm going to trim this up a little bit just so it's clean. And yeah, it's just traditional piecing from here. It's right sides together to finish creating the whole unit. And so I know you guys can't see it, but piece two is just a triangle right there in between my thumbs. So I'm going to lay this fabric where I can feel, doing the feel test. Actually, I'm going to switch it around because I need it to go longer this way. Now I can tell using the feel test that this piece of fabric back on the back is well past the lines on the paper that you'll be able to see when it's in your hands that you might not be able to see in the camera. So I know that I am good there. And I'm just going to flip the paper over. Now I always start the sewing and end the sewing a little into the next section and through the last section, whether that's the seam allowance part or into the next piece of fabric that you're going to add. It's not going to hurt anything to do that. And for me, it gives me cleaner meets, like where all that fabric meets. Everybody's talking. All the animals are talking. Valerie says, very little snow. Hello, Harmonica. Oh, bud. Come on. You're going to have to keep moving. Keep it moving, buddy. Come on. Go. Come on. I know. There you go. There you go. Okay. Valerie had very little snow, so it's pretty much gone today. Nice. Rita says acorn glue. Oh, yeah. Kay got hers in a starter set. Oh, that's so awesome. I did my very first paper piecing, created a design with 4 sections, 36 pieces per section. Oh, you gave me the courage. Yay! Acorn is a company that produces pressing products. Yes, they are incredible. I use Acorn Easy Press Pen, also known as Magic Juice. And I love this stuff because it gets super flat. It's a starch-like product. So it's a similar but different. It's their proprietary recipe. They're actually from Canada. And they used to be really hard to get down here, but they've gotten really popular. So you can find them in shops and stuff now. Hi, doggies. Let me get this piece added. No, Veronica. Come on, bud. I can't have you up here right now. Come on. Off you go. There you go. All right. Where'd my foot pedal go? Okay. all that talking and my iron turned off. But so I am definitely a big ironer. I'm not a presser. And if you watch people, very few people are actually pressers. We use the iron to bend the fabric to our will. and pressing isn't always the way you can do that. But I am an aggressive ironer, and so the easy press makes things super flat. I use a really small stitch length. If you're doing FPP and you're really like pretty kind of new to it, you want that, they say the stitch lengths are 1.3 to 1.8 or 1.5 to 1.8 depending on who you're talking to. I always sew like a 1.1 ish, 1.0 depending on the machine, because I like to not see my stitches at all, and in that aggressive ironing you can see them a lot. But if you have to take into consideration, if you make a mistake and you have been sewing at a 1.0 stitch length, that is never a good time to rip out. So you that's the balance. You want it small enough that the paper rips really easy and you can't see them if you're neurotic like I am, and that you're okay with if you have to rip it out. Landa says she's an aggressive ironer too. Carrie says currently doing their first quilt that is FPP. I've done a few single blocks, but you know, Carrie is notorious for jumping in with both feet. Dove right into a quilt that has 158 sections, made it 7 panels. I love it. Oh, excellent. Oh, you already have all the sections done. So good. So good. I can't wait to see it, Carrie. I want you to share it with us for sure. Donna says she's a 1.8. Yeah, so they say FPP, you want to go from, you know, in the range of 1.3, 1.5 to 1.8. But my regular piecing is always at a 1.8. Just traditional piecing. Again, because I hate seeing the stitches. You gotta find what works for you, and don't worry about what other people say, because what works for them works for them. What works for you works for you. It's all good. Now I'm going to see if I can use up any of these pieces in. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to run away from the camera for just a second because my pup just knocked over dog food. So let me go grab that. Oh no, I was super fast because she's right here. Okay. I know. Okay, there you are. Goodness gracious. Okay, sorry for that little pause. She was not going to be patient. She knocked over the tub. It didn't open up, so it wasn't all over the place, but definitely knocked it over. Oh, all right. So I'm going to leave the iron there for a second to get the piece flat. All right. So there we go. So I don't know if you can see, but really, I want my pieces of fabric to look like they were never cut apart, like they've always been joined together. And the easy piecing or the easy press pen really gives that to me. I feel, me personally, it gets so much flatter than I'm able to do even with just a clapper. Sometimes when a lot of the pieces come together in a spot, I will do the easy press pen. I will do a clapper, and if that's not enough, I have this little rubber tipped hammer, little tiny one, that I will then beat the fabric mercilessly. Gets out a lot of aggression to make it even flatter. So those are some pieces, some helpful tips on getting really flat seams. All right, so that's 1 and 2. Now to 3. This back. Go with this color for 3. In the pattern for this, you'll have a color guide, like a suggested color guide for the purples that were used. But you don't have to use, again, you can use whatever colors you want to build these calla lilies. But the color guide gives us a section for if instead of like this really dark purple, you're going to use a really dark blue, you can on the paper glue a little scrap of the fabric that you're going to use. Also, you can decide you don't want to have as many different colors within the flower itself. And so you might decide that your dark blue is going to take care of like 3 of my dark purples. Totally acceptable. But you would mark which, the dark purples you're going to replace with that dark blue, so that my dark blue is taking care of number 4, number 5, and number 6 of the purples, so that and that's you can do that all on the color swatch page, basically. Hey Tasha, good morning. Oh, Nanda, the Calla Lilies, the testing is wrapping up on January 31st. And I'm hoping to be able to have conversations with the testers all the way through, so that by the 31st, there might be some minor tweaks that I want to do. But I can make the Calla Lily pattern available on February 1st. That's the goal. Unless everything goes absolutely haywire. This is the first time I'm using this new, well, it's an old software. It's new to me software. And I'm having to figure out a couple of things on like naming the sections and how to add the 1-inch square because it doesn't play nice with upload, like pulling it into Word or to Canva to add like the 1-inch square, and this is your sew line, and this is your 1/4-inch, just all the bits and pieces. It doesn't play the same way as EQ8 does. So this is where there's like, it's good some places and a little bit frustrating other places, but it's only frustrating because I haven't figured out yet. Once I get it figured out, we'll be all good. But February 1st is the goal, to have this live so everybody can make their own Calla Lilies, and you will have the options of 20-inch or 40-inch block, and then you will also the 60-inch will be like because it's so much bigger and takes a little bit more finagling to get that set up in the for the papers. That'll be like a little bit of an add-on. So like the 20 and 40-inch will be all together in one, and that'll be $10. To do the 60-inch will be like another $3-ish, I'm thinking, to get up to the 60-inch if you want to do that. I don't know. That's got to figure all that out. But so far with me, even just doing this testing and haven't seen what the testers are doing yet, I'm super excited about this new program. Ingrid, Tamala, Tasha. Now I'm starting to worry that I'm going to confuse because we have the neon lights going too. I'm like, I have people doing that with me too, so I don't want to say some people are testing and some people aren't. Um, I'll go with that. I'm pretty sure as far as that are here. Um, oh, Tamala and Ingrid, Darlene is helping us out. Darlene from the Millersburg. Not it's not in Millersburg anymore, but Darlene from Millersburg is helping us with the Calla Lilies. It's gonna be fun to see everybody. Ingrid, you're right. I cannot wait to see what everybody decides to do. Look at the color variation. I love it. I learned about using the ombre uh, from Barushka of Pride and Joy Quilting when she was doing her testing for a lot of her own quilts that she does FPP, huge FPP works. She would use the V and Co or V and Co fabric to get a lot of color variation so that she could test it out and see what she wanted to do. So excited to use this for me too. Oh, and reds would be great. In reds with like hints of pink. So like where the light source is coming from, it gets a little bit pinker up in the top for the light. So pretty. Oh, I can't wait to see everybody's ideas. It's going to be so much fun. You could use different blues for the background, or you could not, if you didn't want a sky background and you wanted a different kind of background, you could do so many different things. Very excited about what everybody's going to get into. All right. So now 4. Four is the blue. So I need a little bit of background for blue. Let's see. It's a pretty good hunk of blue. Do that. And the blue is a solid, so I can just like move this around. If the angle, I didn't like the angle one way, I can just flip it over. That's the fun part about the solids or the batiks. You just kind of make it work for you. Go, just trim it up a little bit closer to a 1/4 inch than not. Hit it with some magic juice. I'm going to keep track of how long this takes. Keeping it in consideration, I end up talking to you guys and having such a great time having conversations with you guys that my 2 hours here is probably, not true to how long it's actually taking me to put this together. But the A through D section was a small section that didn't take very much time at all. This is a little bit bigger, F through O, and a little bit more smaller pieces to going through these. So this one will take a little bit more time. I think this one has the most pieces of different units across, so like most fabric. There we go. Added some background to that. Huh. I think I just found out a spot that I'm going to need to change, because I think I gave myself a bit of a Y seam here. So my fellow tester friends, I think piece F, I'm going to have to rethink. So I'll figure that out tonight and maybe shoot you all an update. But that's all right. This is what testing is for. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make it work. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to rework that section. I happen to love Y seams. I learned to love them. But I don't want to make my patterns not fun with Y seams. So I will have to rethink F. I'm surprised that the pattern didn't, or not the pattern. How's the pattern going to tell me anything? That the software didn't tell me that. It's good about saying, do you want a Y seam? But all good. We'll get it figured out. There we go. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. I'm going to flip this over. Press it down. And it says it's going to look at the red Calla Lilies and see what fabric's out there. Fun. Case it is called Greg. Called Greg Shannon sucking me into another FPP project before I finished my last project. Oh, I could show you the picture. Where's my phone? I can show you the front of the pattern, if that'll help push you over the edge. Oh, no, let's just get the picture of it. Let's see. So that, move this way. That is what it's going to end up looking like. And again, I did mine in purples. I think all of the colors that everybody's talking about are going to be amazing. I gotta get the Gregs on the line and warn them. Sorry, I am a pusher. I'm an enabler. I can't help it. Okay, so this is where I have discovered an issue. So yes, piece six. So piece six needs to go in between this. Oh, let me pull it down. In between this and this. And so I've created a Y seam situation. So for section F, my testing friends, if you want, there's many creative ways that you can just get around that. And that's probably what I'm going to do. But you don't generally want to have two sides that you got to sew together, otherwise known as a Y seam, to add a piece within, especially when we're dealing with like smaller pieces like this. So I'm going to make it work for me today. I'm just going to, where this blue is, I'm going to just change it up a little bit. But I will today go in and work piece F and add where we'll need to have some additional, I don't know how to explain it. I know what it is in my head on what I have to do, but I don't know how to explain it in words. I will fix section F or unit F for everybody so there's no Y seaming and you don't have to fudge it like I'm about to do. That's the goal. You guys don't have to worry about it. And it won't have any Y seams for you guys. I am just going to, let's see. All right. So 6 is going to come across. Okay, all right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to sew that straight down. Okay, figured it out on my end. And I'll get the update to you guys today. Figured it out, but forgot to flip it back. The issues you run into when you're live. But listen, every person who has ever started FPP and every person who has ever been doing FPP for 3 years, like myself, has done this where they've forgotten to flip a piece back and then sewn across the front of fabric. So these are things that happen. You just unpick and move along. Not the end of the world. Not difficult to fix. I just got to get into the paper. There we go. Sorry for it just being the top of my head for a couple seconds. A couple more stitches to get. Those up. And yeah, I talk to myself like this when nobody's here. And it's just me going, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. I went to my oldest had their work holiday party was this past weekend after the holidays because they want to make sure everybody's back from the holidays. And so they had their holiday party, and it was in a really nice hotel. So I went to hang out in the nice hotel and have some room service and stuff like that, which was nice. I didn't have to like schmooze with anybody. And then we spent the day kind of road tripping around the area, going and checking out um, different stores in the area, kind of went thrifting a little bit in the area, did some eating of good food around the area. I found a quilt store, but they weren't open by the time we got there, which is a bummer. Quilt stores, individually owned quilt stores, you have to really, check the hours. I was bummed because I didn't check the hours. That had nothing to do with them. They were doing what they do. I should have checked the hours. All right. But that was a lot of fun. But it was a long day. I came home tired, and then got to Zoom chat with the cheetah suckers, my girls, Donna and Marianne and Ingrid and Patrice. And then we had a bit of a wind gust, or I didn't see anything that anybody got into an accident, but which is usually it's either like really windy or someone there's a transformer just down the road from us, or somebody got into a big old accident. No, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I didn't see anything about an accident, so I'm guessing it was just a big old wind gust. Um, and we lost power for about, I don't think it was an hour and a half. Definitely hadn't gotten cold in the house, like super cold or anything. So it couldn't have been that long. I think an hour, just enough for me to go like have to go to my car to plug in my phone to use it as a hotspot so that I could get a pattern correction out. Then come back in, text everybody, hey, I got the pattern correction out, and then everything came back on. So yeah, Linda, I'm splitting it. So, and here's what I'm gonna instead of having 5 and 6, I'm just making 5 and 6 one piece. Um, so it's just gonna be 6 and then 7. So instead of two different colors, it's gonna be one, moving it along, which is awesome. Totally works out. So it'll be an easy fix in the pattern. It won't be a hard thing to update and get out to everybody. So here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it was supposed to be a 5 and a 6. Instead, I just sewed right across and made it piece 5. And then we'll just do piece 7, and then that'll be it. That'll take care of any Y seaming. Easy peasy fix. I guess in my head I was just trying to add a little bit more like color play in there, but that not realizing that it uh, made the piece actually more difficult to sew. But I think it's going to look beautiful no matter what. And I mean, who's going to be angry about one less piece of fabric? So there we go. So now it's going to look, it'll come just the three little bits, and then this piece will cover the whole of that 5 and 6 area, which works out great. And now I'm gonna get a darker piece of purple to throw some contrast into it, because these are all light and medium. And I'm gonna throw a deep purple in here now, which will help with that contrast that I was going for with that extra little nugget in there. I'm happy to have been able to work through that with you guys. That might have been tedious for you. I'll have to listen to, but I don't know, like you get to see like the real process, the real having to figure it out. And that not everybody like I don't wave a magic wand back here and it just all works together. We've you know, we got to work through the issue, and now I'll be able to send an update to everybody and get it so it's perfect for everybody. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that I added that really dark right there. Yes. Okay. See, all's well that ends well. That's making me happy. Oh, super sneak peek. Hey, Janice. Carrie. Oh, to Kay. Okay, cool. Oh, well, thank you guys for saying it's beautiful. I'm so happy. It's so exciting to I just never felt like I had the freedom to do this kind of pattern with an EQ8, because EQ8 always moves the lines, and the way that they have the snaps and things, it just moves the lines in really difficult ways to fix. And this software is really like opening it up, and I was always concerned because I'm not an artist, like I can't draw well. I'm just not gifted that way. And so I was always worried that I was holding myself back, or I was hindering myself because I wasn't an artist. And this software takes care of all of that. And I'm like, the next thing I'm writing on this new software. So the baby hippo, the baby pygmy hippo Mudang, and then there was a new one that was born in Richmond. I'm writing up the next pattern is a little baby pygmy hippo. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so cute. Carrie says, when we were little and electricity went out in the winter, we would fight for a good floor register, not a wall register, to be by when the heat would be back on. That's awesome. You just lay across it. That's cute. I remember some of the worst ice storms I'd ever been in were when we were visiting my grandparents in Tennessee. And it never worried me or scared me, because when the electricity would go out, because they had wood burning they had a wood burning fireplace, but what I liked to do was they had a wood burning stove in the kitchen from like the way back whens. And we would all light candles and we would all hang out in that room. And I just have such great memories about that. So it's so cute that you guys have the memory of fighting for the floor register to be at. Like, it just, I don't know. It makes me happy. All right, Landa, thank you so much for being here. Have a great Sunday. Okay, so there we go. That's that. Now the last pieces I have to add are the blue background. So we got that issue fixed. Now it's just finish up this unit with the background. All right. So I think I'll be able, with this big old piece, to take care of both bits I need. That'll be that, and this will be for this. Yeah. This is where working with, again, the solids, so you can just flip the fabric around in the position you need it to be in, comes in handy. I love when you're adding the final pieces and then you're starting to see the shape within the shape. I love that. I really think for the overhead, I think I'm just gonna have to go back to using my other iPhone, my old iPhone, because I feel like this camera gets jumpy and doesn't catch everything. Weird background stuff you gotta think about to make the experience good. All right, final piece for Unit F. How are we looking on time? Oh, we're doing good. G is a lot of triangles across it, so that'll be all right. I'm trimming it down to about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. You can go a little heavier if that makes you more comfortable. Not going to hurt anything at all. There's not so many pieces of fabric coming together that you're going to have to worry about bulk so much for this. So if a heavy 1/4 inch makes you more comfortable, you can definitely do that. Let me see. How did I? Let's see. Did I do it this way or this way? I think I did it this way. All right, did it this way. There we go. That's what I wasn't seeing. All right, to make sure we got it lined up to cover all the seam allowances. Good to go. I don't know if I don't know if you guys have ever watched or seen, like, there are like joke things about how uh oh, laundry calls for Donna. Hey, Del Marie from Northern. Hello, Elizabeth. Yay, welcome you guys. Good morning. Um, Donna, have fun with laundry. Oh, the hippo is gonna be so adorable. I can't wait for him. But they're like, I don't know, memes and stuff about how like chicks love a good sale, and if they find something on sale, they're gonna tell everybody about it. And I became that person yesterday because as uh we were Lauren and I were thrifting, I found a sweater, a green sweater. I love green. Green's my favorite color, and it's a beautiful shade of green. And I was very excited about it. It still had the original tags on it. So I was like, ooh, that's cool. I thought it was marked down by over half. I thought it was $24. I got up to the register. That sweater was $6. What? I was so happy. I was like, I want to call everybody to let them know that I just got the deal of the century. I was like, oh, I'm really proving that meme correct. That I want everyone to know that I got a really good deal. I was so happy with myself. There we go. So this is before it's cleaned up. I haven't trimmed down to the seam allowance, but I really love that dark purple thrown in there. I think that is really an awesome contrast to the more mediums and lights. Right, Charlotte? I was like, I I mean, it still had the tags on it. It was so new. Made me so happy. Uh, did a little dance. You're never gonna, I mean, it's always a good thing to get to the register and then find out it's less expensive. I've had it happen a couple of times where I've gotten to the register and they've told me it's more expensive because they forgot to take the signage down or whatever. It's gonna be pretty when it's all cleaned up. I think I talked last week, and I've talked about it a couple of times, that I like to use the same ruler time after time within any one project, kind of like you're supposed to use the same machine as you're doing a project. I like to use the same ruler because the 1/4 inch marks can be thicker or thinner depending on what ruler you're using. There just might be like little minor variations. And while FPP is really easy to be precise and get the precision within the unit that you're doing, when you start putting the units together, that's back to traditional piecing pretty much. And you're having to line up all those angles. And so if I can be as consistent as possible about what my 1/4 inch is and where I'm lining up my 1/4 inch line, that's going to set me up that much better for when I'm putting the units together to build the sections and then the sections together to build the block, that everything is going to line up so much nicer because my 1/4 inch is the same over and over and over again. There we go. That's that piece F all cleaned up. I'll probably, there's a like a weird divot that I'm not gonna, that's gonna drive me insane over here. So I'll probably re-iron that with some more easy press. But for the most part, here we go. I really like the contrast of purples. That's so pretty. I'm so excited about this. Let's see. I think trying to figure out where E and F meet each other. This way? I don't feel like that's right. Well, maybe. Could be. I don't have the assembly guide in front of me, so I'm not 100% sure. But this might be where they line up to start the curve. Yeah, maybe. That'll be pretty. Again, I don't have the assembly guide, so I'm not gonna guess. But if I had, had to guess, I would think that these two go together this way. And so that'll be cool. All right. So on to G. G, a lot of these pieces within this section are long and skinny with a lot of triangles in them. So let's make sure that I don't have any more of those gotchas as I'm doing this. I think it was the fact that I was going around in a circle that I got oopsed for section F. Here we go. Good old don't panic cardboard mailer. Bye, Molly. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with us. Sadie. A pup over there obsessively licking. Before the dogs had come up, I'd given the cat some treats, and apparently a cat didn't finish it all up. And Sadie was finding the leftovers and obsessively licking the carpet. Oh, all right. There we go. Now we're ready to start adding some color. So we're starting up here with the background, gonna do purples through here and then ending with the background. Just gonna go ahead and cut a chunk of the background. Yeah, that'll definitely cover that. So we're good there. And another chunk for the background up here. And that covers that well. There we go. So we got our background ready. Let's start adding our colors. So 8 is like a medium-y purple. A long sliver of a triangle. Let's see. Again, 1 is a solid, so it doesn't have to be a right or wrong side. I'm just gonna put it on there like that, and where I know that it covers what I need it to cover. And then 8, we're gonna come in and do the And with the light blue, I should be able to hold it up and make sure that the darker purple fabric comes in behind it. Yeah, and covers. I can see it covering the whole section I need it to cover. So good there. Paper back over. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning and welcome. We are FPPing this morning, or I am FPPing this morning. Trim off some of this blue. Right, and I know the next one is 2, and that's been the light. I've always used the lightest section for that. So the trim off this excess stuff. Take a good hunk out of this lighter section. It's going to be piece 3. Oh, Patricia's working on scullover. Excellent. Are you doing mini scullover or OG scullover, like supersized scullover? I love the colors in scullover. Love the, I'm actually looking at mine hanging up there because he's staring at me saying, you really need to actually quilt me. But I love all the different colors in scullover. Right. All right, feel test is right. Know that I'm going to have all the fabric to cover that. Full size. Oh, awesome. Okay. Again, these are the sections where I'm talking about, oh, you know, it's a great scrap buster. You know, these are the different little bits that you're having to cover. Any bits of purple or any bits of blue or red or orange, yellow. It would be awesome. It's your first legit and you think you're addicted already. It does not. Oh, Monica. It does not take long to drink the Kool-Aid. All right, while I'm waiting for the iron, I'm gonna give Harmonica some love because he keeps jumping up here, so he obviously is in need. Harmonica is the biggest of the boys. Record Scratch is the biggest of the girls. And he causes the most chaos when he jumps up. because he's so big. Good. He also doesn't purr uh loudly, like vocally. I don't know. You can feel it in his throat that he's purring. Like I can feel the rumbles, but you can't hear it. You just hear this like deep huffing. He's such a good boy. All right, I need you to hop down now. Thanks for the visit, my friend. But yeah, I love that. His Oh, good morning, Jess. Hello. Folks, and Jess, I'm going to remind you and everybody else that's in here too, go ahead and do an exclamation mark selfie. So if we have friends in here who haven't seen you yet or gotten to check out your YouTube channel, they can go ahead and do that. Give you a like and a follow. Um, Here, what I was saying about harmonica now. I don't know. He's just a fun one. He talks the most out of all of them. And if I'm coming home and he's at the window, I can hear him yelling for me out the window. It's the most adorable thing in the world. Okay. Right. So 14. What is 14 looking like? A little on the darker side. Yeah, that's good because that too is really light. So let's do darker. Not the darkest, but on the darker end. Yeah, like in here. Okay, good with that. And it's just like a little rectangle. Go. There we go. Yay, Jess. Excellent. Okay. All right. I'm happy to report, looking down at G, no alterations are going to be need to be made to G. So far, I'm just going to have to make an edit to F. I think by the end of this, I might be on Team Purple. Look at the contrast across that. I love that. Right. What I am definitely team of is Team Ombre. This has been so much fun being able to just work up and down from the lightest to the darkest on this piece. I've really enjoyed using the ombre. This has been fun. So this one is more triangle. Let's see if this piece works. Oh, I've been so I, our phones, man. I swear they're listening to every conversation we have. I've been talking about um free motion quilting and wanting the long arm and stuff. And I keep it on Instagram and on YouTube. I keep getting the different long arms and suggestions on free motion quilting, having different free motion quilting rollers and everything. But I think Grace Company got me. They have a couple of different. I don't know if they have the cutie where it's like on your tabletop and everything, but I keep seeing the different commercials, ads or whatever for it. But I think they're getting me because they were using a uh, a Juki TL, the 18. They were using it in one of their ads, and I was like, oh, you're using my actual machine to show me that I could be doing this. And it had like the stitch regulator and stuff. And they might be getting me. I think my kids are gonna freak that I'm gonna end up setting up in the dining room, and it'll just be there for life now. But it's better than kicking my son out of the basement, I suppose. There we go. Next piece. But yeah, I think I'm gonna save up for something like that because a long arm isn't in the cards anytime soon, unless I win the lottery. Uh, but a little tabletop version would be fun to start with. But my phone was talking to me. I don't know what that was. Oh, it might be the kids watching TV downstairs. All right. Oh, in a year and a half. Oh, Patricia, I'm so happy for you. I get to live vicariously through you. I have so many flimsies that I need to finish. Like so many. Mini Sculliver, Sail Away is still a flimsy. My two color quilt challenge is still a flimsy. Everything is still a flimsy. Everything. Uh, we gotta do something about that. All right. I think that's gonna be more on that side than this. Well, we'll see what we got. Yeah, that'll work. All right. I'm gonna get G all finished up and trimmed up, and then we will start talking about what is planned for the rest of the week. I'll get the iron set up on this and then show you got that pressing. So on Wednesday night, I'm going to put up the next part of Neon Nights, which is the sparkling star. I'm going to show how to actually build all the different, so we've this past Wednesday I showed how to sew the different units. This Wednesday I'm going to show how to put all the units together to complete the block like this. And so that'll be this Wednesday evening for Sparkling Star. Then next Wednesday will be sewing, and here I'll put this here. This is Sparkling Star. Then so that's this coming up Wednesday. The following Wednesday we'll start on the second star block, which is I'm going to end up saying the wrong thing again because I have the Dutch rose. I keep wanting to say dusty rose because I like that color. The Dutch rose, we'll start putting the units together, showing how to put those units together. And then the following week from there, we'll be building those units into the finished block. And then I'll show the completed with the sashing that's going to go on the sides and the cornerstones to finalize Neon Nights, which is the pattern. And the pattern is available on my website if you're interested in it. It is the same 2 blocks, so you can kind of build the size that you want. The instructions are for the large throw. The wall hanging is just 2 squares of each, so 2 of the sparkling star, 2 of the Dutch rose, and that makes the 4 of the wall hanging. This actually was a vote. I had 3 patterns with everybody to vote on, and Neon Nights won that vote. So that pattern came out, and we're sewing it up together through the month of January. And I'm excited to get to put those videos together. They're going to always be on Wednesday, kind of like in place of what was my vlog or podcast. So a little more interactive since we're actually building something together. But I'm so happy with how this came out. This star, traditionally pieced, made me question whether or not I ever wanted to sew again. But FPP, it turned out awesome. I'm very excited about it. So my video will come out Wednesday. What also is happening on Wednesday is what I had talked about last week doing today was working on my friend Julius Handmade. His block of the month is starting obviously with January, and I was going to sew his block live, but this week had been such a week. I never got to touch base with him to make sure that was okay to go ahead and sew his block live. And with it being the same week that he's doing his live sew for his block, I thought I should just not do that today. But Wednesday night, if you go to Julius's webpage, juliushandmade.com, there's a link to sew live with him his block, and it's a free block of the month for the year of 2025. So you'll have the free download for block 1 to get on board. It's also FPP. He is the one that actually taught me how to use the program that I'm using that created the Calla Lilies. So I'm excited to support him and work on his block of the month on Wednesday evening too. I think it's 8:00 Eastern time. I'm pretty sure it's 8:00 Eastern. And my video comes out at 9:00. So we'll be able to sew together and then have my video come on out. All right, last purple. What did I do? 10. Was 10 an option on this one? No. Okay. so I don't have to worry about matching anything. All right, what am I gonna do with 10? Take a darker color. There we go. As you guys have been watching, if you found some new friends to watch after we're done today, definitely go give everybody a look, watch a couple of their videos, throw a comment in their video, thumbs up. That helps us so much as creators. It helps get our videos like out there. All this algorithm stuff, I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to it. When you find me, I'm so excited that you found me, but I'm not putting a whole lot of effort into figuring out what the algorithms are and what YouTube says I should be doing to try to show up in everybody's feed, all that kind of stuff. I'm just not putting the time into that. But as you guys are liking and commenting and subscribing and all that stuff, that helps YouTube know, oh, people kind of dig this chick. Let's show her on other people's channels too. So that's like the quiet, background kind of stuff that helps everybody grow. And so if you've enjoyed the conversation that we've had with our other YouTube creators here, giving them a like and a follow does the same thing for them. It helps spread them to other folks. All right, now just adding the background and we are set with G. Need to make sure I got the angle right. There we go. Alrighty. I'm so blessed by Jess says, I understand that too, Shannon. I'm just here to have fun and learn new things. Love it. And to share my passion. Exactly. Exactly. And I am well aware that the amount of work that you have to put in to make absurd amounts of money on YouTube, I am not willing to like, I don't know, forfeit relationships with my kids and you know it's just so much. I don't know how influencers do it. I don't want to feel like I have to have everything in my life on display. I mean, but I think that's probably because I'm an old lady. The young kids love it and do it, and it's like second nature to them because they've grown up with it. I'm an old lady. I'm like, nobody cares about what I'm doing. Yeah, see, we have folks like Charlotte. Like Charlotte's not a big fan of the FPPing, doesn't really like to do it, and it doesn't matter. Come and chat and you can learn new things about what's going on with FPP, which is always good just to be knowledgeable. Like, I'm not really into applique, but if friends are doing applique, I'm gonna hang out and watch what they're doing and stuff too, because I like learning about it. I may never do it. I mean, I having a culinary background, I appreciate that wine is good. Other people like wine. I've never got into it. I don't like the taste of it. But if people are sitting around drinking wine, well, I'm just gonna bring my beer and hang out with them too. So you don't have to be a, you know, FPP convert to come hang out and share your stories and your knowledge that you have with us. All right, there is G all done up, and now I'm going to trim it and get it nice and clean. This is I love this, the trimming part where it all comes together. Make sure this angle is right. All right, so we'll get this beauty done. We'll sign off, and then I'm immediately going to go fix F for my testers. I don't want them to have to figure that out on their own. Glad to have caught it today with you all so we could work through it. And now I have a good solution for my testers. A tested solution for my testers. Ooh. I know that I've said it, but I'm so excited about this program. Really, like, helping me. I will always be a fan of, like, with Neon Nights, where I'm making traditionally pieced blocks into FPP as a different way to sew them up, a different way to look at them. I'm always going to be a fan of that. But I'm really excited about this new program, new to me program, helping me kind of open up my creative uh my passion for these patterns, and to be doing something so out of the my wheelhouse of being you know the person who takes traditional blocks and makes them FPP. This is really cool. So it's very exciting for me. I'm excited about the little hippo that I'm going to be doing next. That one may that one may be like advanced. That may be an advanced one. But okay. So this is E and F. Is this how we thought it was going to? Let me see. No, this way. E and F. And then I think G is here. Okay, so these are the three that we finished today. Let's flip it over. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what that's going to, but isn't it fun? I love that it looks like this shouldn't go together. Like the angles like don't look like they're going to match. Like this looks way too long and this looks way too high. But when you put it together, right sides together with the seam allowance, it all fits beautifully together. That's also the mystery of FPP. That's going to be, oh, I love the purples. It's so pretty. Very cool. I really like this dark side over here. Like it's, kind of in shadow on this side. Oh, awesome. – Oh, yeah, Shelly says, that's true. Like she loves FPP, but she likes it when it's in a kit because it's already been like curated for you. I'm the same way with clothes. Like if I walk into a place and it has an outfit on a mannequin, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get that same outfit because it's already been thought through, and I know it already looks good because they're putting it on a mannequin. Um, but yeah, it is a different uh, part of the process to try to pull the fabrics together yourself. So I totally get that. And I enjoy kits, obviously, too, with the whole love affair with the legit kits. So, but I think that's the fun part that there's a space for all of us, no matter what kind of style of FPP you like to do. Thank you, Ingrid. Yeah, I will continue on today with the rest of F through O and build this out to make sure that there are no edits that need to be made. I will get the edit to F out if there are no further edits that need to be made within this section. I'll get F out to everybody that's testing for me so that they have the right setup for their own testing. But I think we're at time, right? Yeah, we're at time. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I am live just about every Sunday. Next week, I most likely will just continue on with testing out the Calla Lilies. I may, just finish out the month of January doing the testing for it. And then you guys will be ready for February 1st when the pattern goes live. And I'll be working with my testers throughout the month so that we're all able to get you guys the best pattern possible into your hands in February. Thank you for being here and hanging out. Thank you for helping support my friends that were in here as YouTubers, checking out their sites and supporting them as well. Look for me Wednesday night when I work on Neon Nights. That's a pre-recorded. That's not a live video. It's pre-recorded where I'll actually be building Sparkling Star, all the units together into sections and all the sections into a completed block. I'll also be on Julius Handmade's live, putting his 2025 January block of the month block together. A cardinal just flew in. God, I love cardinals against the snow, man. That's iconic. That's not like no faces, but I'll be in the chatting away as I'm working it up. Yeah, so lots of different spots to hang out this week. I hope everybody has a very safe and warm. If you are in California, I hope you are being safe and as safe as you can be. I tell you, these natural disaster things are just insane. Everybody take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And where is that from? Somebody says that, take care of each other. Don't remember, but it's good advice. So do the same. And I will see you guys Wednesday night and live again on Sunday. Bye, everybody.